So guys, in this video we are going to work on our player controller. So first we want a moving animation for our player. So let's click on the player. Now here we have the player controller. I'm going to click on that. Let's rename it. So the second we need to just click back on our player idle. I'm going to make a new clip, call it player run. So now let's go inside of our asset. So let's click on the idle here. Now let's find our walk or run. Then I'm going to click on all of them. Here, instead of binar, I'm going to make it to no filter and none. Then click on apply. So let's now bring them to our animation. Make it a little bit longer. So that looks good. I'll just copy the first one and paste it there. Let's see, to make it a little bit maybe smoother. Yeah, so now we need to go to animator. We want to make a transition to run, from idle to run, and from run to idle. Let's make a bool value. Here make it to move again. So I already have that, so why here I have to, okay, I already have that here. We can just click on it. When move is true, we are going to run animation. When move is false, we are going to idle animation. So, and we don't need any transition duration, so we can make it 0 in both of them. So no exit time and transition duration at 0. So if you see that if we are going to click play, when the move is true, it's going to run, and when the move is false, it's going to idle back. So now we need to go inside of our script to our player controller script. Let's open it. So now let's write our variables. So we need to get access to our animator. So private animator, call it anim. Then we need to have a rigid body to move our player. So be sure that it's a rigid body 2D. Call it RB. And we need private int, call it face direction, which direction we want to move our player. Then private bool if our player right now facing right or left, so facing right, then we want public float for speed, then public float for our face value. So face value is when we are going to click on the bottom, so right and left, then we can give this face value. From this face value, we are going to move player depending on our speed. So now we need to get access to these two because they are private. So we need, for getting access to them, we need here say anim dot, so anim is equal get component animator. Then we want RB is equal to get component widget body 2D. So now let's go inside of our update. Here we are going to get the value of our face value. So face value is equal to input dot get axis raw and horizontal. Be sure that you write it correctly, because if you don't, then it is not you will not get any value. Now before everything else, we make a function here, public void flip. Inside we are going to check facing right is equal to not facing right. That means each time we are going to change the directions of our player, we are going to make it at the same time opposite, so negative. Then we want vector 3 scale is equal to transform dot local scale. Then we want to scale dot x is multiply equal to -1. We are going to flip our player. Then transform dot local scale is equal to our new scale. Then we are going to say our new local scale is our new scale that we made it here. So exactly what we did for the NPCs, we are going to do the same here. So now inside of our update, we are going to check if our face value is bigger than 0 and we are not facing right. Then we want to flip player. And at the same time, we want to say the face direction is equal to 1. Then here we are writing else if the same that we write here. You can copy that, Control C and Control V to paste it. Instead of facing right, so not facing right, we are going to say facing right. So here we have not, here positive. Then we are going to flip again. Then facing direction is equal to -1 this time. Now we also need to get access to give a value to our rigid body. So we say RB dot velocity is equal to new vector 2 face value multiplied by speed, then comma, we need the second value, and the second value will be RB dot velocity dot y. That means we don't want any changes at y direction. So we want to just have a value at x direction and not, because as you see here, we need the float x value and float y value. Why? Because we don't want to jump or anything else for now. We don't need that, and we want to just move the player to the right, so left and right. So we just need x value, and for x value, we're going to see face value and then multiply it to our speed, and we get face value from our keyboard buttons. So now let's give the animation as well. Here we are going to check if face value is bigger than 0, then we have the OR, then here face value, then if it's bigger than 0 or less than 0, then we want to get our anim dot set bool get the move bool and make it to true. So that is for the moving, and now we want also for the idle. So here else anim dot set bool move to be false. That means here when we have the value of the face value bigger than 0 or less than 0, then we are going to move the animation. But when we have the face value of 0, then we are going to idle animation. So now let's save it. Let's go back to the game. So now here in our scene, we need to fix some problems. So first, if I'm going to click, we are going to get some error because we don't have the box collider rigid body for our player. you see we get the widget body that we don't have a widget body. So now let's click on the player. Let's add widget body. So now let's play again. As you see, because we have the curvature scale, it's going to fall down. And if we make the curvature scale to 0, they are not going to fall down anymore. But as you see, it's now trying to move to other direction as well. So now let's give the widget body to it. So add the component, so box collider to it. As you see, the box collider is a little bit big, so we can click on this button here, and then we are going to match it to the size of our player. Now let's go up. Here we are going to give a value of 2 to our player. Now let's play it, and as you see, we have the problem with the moving here. You see, at the same time, he tried to move the right and left. It's because I think we made a small mistake by copying that. So here, as you see, I said when the face value is 0, then we are going to flip it. And here at the same time, I said when the face value is bigger than 0. But we need to change this one to negative. That means if the face value is less than 0 and facing right, then we are going to flip and face direction is to -1. So now we should solve that problem. So the flip player controller to face direction is not current. Now, as you see, we are going to move the player to the left and right. So now we just need to click on the flip. So then it should move as we want. Or that here instead of 0, you can just move it. And it's going to fix it. So when I'm going to stop it, here we can put minus. So now it's work fine. So now that play controller works fine without any problems, and we are going to try to interact with some objects like doors, peoples, NPCs, and yeah. So see you now in the next video.